kurtosis means your standard deviation is going to increase, right?
Sorry, come again.
Negative kurtosis means standard deviation is going to increase, right?
Yes.
So if your standard deviation is increasing means data are more far from the center. Data are further away from the center, right? So if the data are further away from the center means there might be some outlier, there might be some unique observation, some unique values, okay, which are not related to the actual data set. Okay, so those kind of thing you find out when the data is negatively kurtosis, and if it is positive kurtosis, you have more data towards the center. So probability of finding any observed value is very high around the center.
Okay.
Okay, so these are certain things which kurtosis and all tells us. So this is very important measurement just to understand if you have a good amount, like your data is closely related or not. For those kind of thing, it's important.
Okay.
So we will do this like yesterday we were doing descriptive statistics, right? So that mean median we found for empty cars. We are working on empty cars, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now like we will take some data. Like you can open the same tab, same Jupyter Notebook or Colab where you were working yesterday, and in the same one we are going to practice a little bit more of this one. That is like this descriptive part. Okay, so now here like we'll see kurtosis, mean, median, mode. We'll visualize those within the. So now here, like here I am creating a dummy data. Okay, like here I am creating a dummy data for now. Already we have seen in our data like this kurtosis, sorry, this mean median. In our data we got mean somewhere around 20, median somewhere around 19 something. Got. So now here I'm taking one normalized data. Normalized data means like where you have equal amount of value in the higher side as well as lower side of a data distribution. And like here I'm creating some normalized data. So here I'm saying pd.data frame. Okay, here you can see you are able to see the screen, right?
Yes.
Here I'm saying norm variable. So this variable equals pd.data frame. I'm converting my data to data frame, and my data frame contains this data, that is np.random.normal. So now this random is used to give you some random values. So now np is nothing but numpy.random. So it will give you some random values, and I am saying here normally distributed random values. So give me normally distributed random values. So in np.random is a like a parameter which is there in num, in which you have different methods in that, like you have normal, you have exponential. So like that different parameters are there. So here I am taking np.random.normal function, and in this normal function I'm passing some data saying I want normalized data around 10,000. So sorry, here I have taken 1 lakh. So 1 lakh normalized data it will give. So you can give a size like amount of normalized data you want to create. It will just create some random normalized data, and it will give you some data. So what it does, it gives you exact amount of positive as well as negative values, and so like equal kind of distribution of positive and negative values. So now here in this norm data, we will be having around 1 lakh data. So now on those data, I am plotting a graph, that is norm data dot plot. So what does this plot do? We have already seen in matplotlib, right? PLT dot plot. What does that plot do? What kind of graph like this plot will be used? Hello.
Hello. The plot will.
The PLT dot plot we used to write, right? So that will give us a line chart, right? For
Yes.
plotting a line chart or line graph, we use PLT dot plot. So here
Yes,
I'm
sir.
saying on data dot plot. So on top of this data frame, we are using this plot. So this plot will give us a line plot. But here I'm saying kind. So this is kind is nothing but argument which is there in plot this plot graph. So I am saying kind is density. So it will give me a density plot. So we have already seen a density plot in this plot. So we did distribution plot where we were getting kernel density estimation. So it shows you where the data is more dense, less dense, those kind of thing. So here also the same thing you will get using this kind equal to density. For figure size, here I am giving a big figure, just increasing the size of the figure so that we get a big size. Now, if you look at the graph, so here this is a normally distributed graph. So here you can see we have equal amount of value in the negative as well as positive side, and it looks like normally distributed. So this blue line which you see is the density plot which we got. So now on top of density plot, I want to see where is my mean and where is my median. So in normal distributed data, okay, we already studied that when your data is normally distributed, your mean and median is going to lie in the center, right? We
Yes,
already
right.
like mean median is going to lie in the center. If the data is like skewed, then only mean median will shift. So here I have
Mm-hmm.
taken a data, and then here I'm saying plt.v line. So I'll be plotting a vertical line. So v line stands for vertical lines. So I'll be plotting a vertical line on my mean. So here I'm saying wherever mean is there. So norm data dot mean, wherever mean is there, on that plot a vertical line. And here I'm saying y, y value, what is the minimum y value, what is the maximum y value. So I looked at the graph and I found that minimum y is 0.00, maximum y is 0.40. So here I'm saying giving the same thing, saying y mean is 0, y max is 0.4. Then I'm giving some width, line width. Line width is nothing but how thick you want the line to be. So I'm giving a line width saying 5.0, or like a thicker line around 5.0. So when you do this, it will plot a black color line on that particular area. Okay, a vertical line where the mean is there. Then similarly here I am doing norm data dot median. I also want to see where median lies. So I have taken norm data dot median and the same thing, but line width here I have given a lesser one because I want to see line color. Like when I pass these two things, it will give me two lines. Okay, on the a normally distributed graph. One is mean, that is the black color one you can see, and the other one is median, that is the red color one. So now you can see here that both the lines fall on top of one another. So we can tell that when the data is normally distributed, mean median is going to be same. Okay, so that's what we figured out from this graph. Getting?
Okay, so your for mean is the line is black, but for
Yes.
median line is red, right? So
Yes. So here we are saying right color equal to red for median, and here we
mm-hmm.
are not color for mean, so it will pick black. Also, I have given a border broader line here for mean so that we can distinguish both, so that we can see both of the lines. That's why. guys, you are here in Bangalore only. Both of you are here in Bangalore, right?
Yes, yes.
If you get some free time, like you can come by to our office like Saturday, Sunday. If you get someday like free time, you can have around 3 hours class like that. Okay, like some extra hours you can have like doubt clarification and
Okay, we will then we can plan actually.
okay.
So,
Actually, you can also come by metro. I don't know like where you are staying in somewhere near Belandur something, right?
no, my office in Bellandur actually right now, but I'm living in Electronic City.
Oh,
And
okay.
I am near to airport.
Okay, Yelahanka. Okay, okay. Okay, actually, here, like our office is at Rajaji Nagar. So
Mm-hmm.
here, Rajaji Nagar, we have two offices. One is this AI office. One we have one other software institute as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh. But we will come actually, not coming weekend,
Yeah.
but definitely we will come.
Yeah.
Like, so how much time it will take to complete? Like, I,
It will take some more time. Actually, here, like you guys are not going to run deep learning and all, so it will be just 2 months as we discussed. But another it will take like Feb 15th, I guess it will be completed. Jan end will be completing lot of things, but it will go till Feb
okay,
15th.
okay. And like, okay,
Okay, see, data science is very, very big. But the thing is, this upgrade and all, if you see like online courses wherever you do, they all waste up your time. Like you can see their courses. Like if you have time, you can log into upgrade, and you can see like their data science course will be almost a year. And in that, you should look at the amount of time they put into all these things. Like if you see like introduction to data science will be for 4 weeks. Okay, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, like that. Again, if you see Python, that just the basic introduction to Python will be like 6 weeks, 7 weeks, like that. So I don't know what they will be teaching, but here, anyways, like people who work here who come down and like within 4 months, like our specialization course also whoever does, they get to learn a lot of things, and also most of the guys gets placed because here they do a lot of practical things. And the thing is, in online also they make it everything as theoretical, so it takes time. Like they will tell you small basic concepts, which then again they will make you practice later on, so it will like take up a lot of huge time into those. But 2 months is very basic to get around and like look for a job. That's also good. Like 2 months is also good. But if you want to advance your skills, you can look for like at least deep learning, then computer vision. Now, actually, here in this course, we are not getting into machine learning and like deep learning and computer vision kind of thing. We are looking at machine learning and all data related study. But now most software companies are also looking for people where they know more into little bit of AI. So that's where those kind of courses comes into more months. It takes some more time to learn those, but everything once you do practically hands on, it will be easy for you to understand. So there is nothing tough in this area, and everything is like ready-made function you are getting, but you have to understand the concept. So that's what you will be learning.
yes, right. Actually, our plan is like that only. Firstly, actually, I don't know. See, in this line, it will take get the job 6 months, 1 year also, because I've seen lot of friends which I was doing. Okay, so what happening? So I just want to firstly, I want because if my plan, we having plan like this. Firstly, we said we should make our base like.
Base want to see, actually here the thing is it doesn't depend. course at all. Now, if you don't do course from anywhere, still you will be able to do. Only the thing is you should have a right guidance. That's what
Yeah.
is important. You should
Yes. Yes.
know a little bit concept so that you can also improve on the things. Okay, so that
Yes.
is
Yes.
what is more important rather than spending
So
4 lakhs, 3 lakhs, that's like simply waste.
yeah, yeah. So my plan is like that only. Just firstly, we should because we are working guys, so we are not getting that much time also for practice.
Right.
Okay, so that is also one big issue because and concept for us concepts is very new, मतलब like theoretically as well as practically
Here,
also.
a lot of understanding is needed. See, actually, statistics, if you see, statistics is very much bad when you look into internet and try to find out answers. So now it's improving a lot because of lot of data scientists coming in and like joining different community and putting their effort. But earlier, like statistics was not at in right place. Like if you open any statistical book, you will not be able to understand the right essence of statistics.
Yeah, I have
So that
seen today. I have seen because there's a no, only they have given in the theoretical part only. No, like graphs are not given in that.
so
So,
you
so
see actually statistics, that's what, so statistics is very important for like a real time analysis. So statistics is meant for data analysis, right? So data inferences. So here the problem is like these books are just to pass the exams, so that's where they make it like theoretical and just to know what's there in a particular definition and you should write it down to pass one exam. So there is very less practicality here. It's only because you will see like certain US publishers, like if you see, they also are more into research, and research people will be more writing only theoretical things. Okay, so that's the only problem which is there. But you can look into that practical statistics for data science, which I said. That's a very nice book. But there they have written in like our language, but still you will be able to understand, I guess.
okay, okay. Yeah, it is done.
Okay, so this one is done. So now here you are getting your vertical lines on the center, right? Both mean, median, and both falling on top of one another, right?
Yes, yes.
So that means here in data, when your data is normally distributed, our mean and median are going to fall in the center. Okay, so that's what we can say. So average as well as the middle value is always be at the center.
So, sort of one doubt. So, like in this data set, whatever we have just created, in that, suppose in the courtesies I have to found. So, just by the graphically, by seeing it, we can understand ki this is the like what is that?
Positive kurtosis, you
Or
can say.
yeah,
You want to find out like what's the actual kurtosis, okay,
yeah.
value. That also you can see. Okay, going ahead, we are going to do that.
Okay, okay, okay,
It's very easy. You have to just write dot kurt. It will give you the kurtosis.
okay.
Okay, so done this one. We'll move ahead.
Yeah,
Any
yeah.
other questions? No. Okay, so next one, whatever I did with this data, that is some normally distributed data I have created and I have plotted these V lines.
Hmm.
You do the existing empty cars MPG. We were trying to visualize empty cars MPG, that is miles per gallon. And so we have understood that mean median are a little bit different, and I want to just visualize and see if mean median false. So you can try to do that empty cars. Okay, empty cars MPG. Only take the MPG and try to find out the mean and median.
I have to put the same V line also, V line or
Yeah.
like what?
Yes, yes. Like similarly, I want to see like vertical line. You should plot the vertical lines on the data.
Sorry. Okay. I'm getting straight lines.
Yeah, see, you should get something like this. You're rating like this.
No, no.
Okay, cross check your this one.
Yes, got it.
Got no. Okay. Kasif, you also got.
No, I am still trying.
Okay, just cross check here. Okay, this is what I have done. Like same thing. See if it is same thing you are doing or not.
No, but why max you put at 0.06?
Because see, after doing this density plot, I saw what's the maximum value here. Okay, in my density plot, and I found it to be 0.06. That's why I gave.
Okay, okay. Just you have to check for like well, we have to understand data like this only.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, like that. So just to visualize, here I can visualize and say that both are very much nearer, but mean is shifted towards the right. That
Hmm.
means our
Hmm.
data is which kind of skew is this? Data is positively skewed. Positively skewed means it is skewed towards the positive side. It's moving
Yeah,
towards the
left
positive.
side. Yeah, tail is from the right side.
Yeah. Okay. So that is what is positively skewed. So now positively skewed, our mean will be higher than the median. So that's what we can say. So this is positively skewed, but it's very less like positively skewed, as
Mm-hmm.
it's very much a nearer. That's all. Like both are nearer, but still it's little bit skewed. So this is the understanding. What we get is okay. Our mean median are not around the center; they are little bit shifted. And what kind of shift is that? It's a positive shift. So more data are concentrated around the lower side. So the
Okay.
lower side value, less data on the higher side.
Okay.
Okay. So our model, whatever predictive model we do or whatever study we do, will be able to figure out this part much clearly as compared to this part, because here our data is little bit skewed and we have less records. Getting right? So this is
Yeah.
how you interpret and understand by visualizing and doing this like mean median, getting mean median. Kasif, you are getting now?
Yes, the line, this width, these things were wrong actually. From
Okay,
the previous example I have written.
okay. Now you are getting right. Okay. Okay, so now next is here, like already we saw that when the data is skewed, our mean median will shift. Here also I have taken a dummy data which is completely skewed data, and here you can see that median is like median is at the left, mean is at the right, so mean is higher. So this is a positively skewed data. Obviously, we are not going to do this as already we have done one skewed data. Next here, like here one more concept to understand, like that day that day you guys asked like what's the difference between this mean median and what do we get out of it. Okay, so here like mostly mean median, the difference, major difference between them is like median is also called as robust statistic. Median is also called as robust statistic. Robust means it doesn't get influenced by like outliers or unique observation, those kind of thing. It doesn't get affected by any of the redundant things, but this mean gets changed, mean gets influenced a lot. Now to understand this, here I have taken some like data which is normally distributed. So here you can see this blue line which is normally distributed, and here I have some extra values. Here if you see at the right hand side, I have some extra values. So these values are outliers, like which are very far from the cluster, so they are not at all related with the cluster value. It's like far away. Okay, so these are called as outlier. Now here I am plotting that mean and median, the same thing on this normalized data. So now here you can see on the normalized data this median which is at the center. Okay, that red color line. So it is still at the center, like it's robust and it's there at doesn't it has been shifted a little bit towards the right hand side because we have outlier, so it's moving towards the outlier. So that's why mean is also not that robust. So mean is something which gets heavily influenced by outlier. If you have outliers within your data, then mean also shifts. Like there will mean will not be anymore a clustered center value, like where you have a positive cluster, you have lot of groupings around the data. Like this, here we have lot of groupings around the data, but mean is not defining the center right now. The center is only defined by median here. So median is very much robust and it clearly defines okay what is the center value or what is the most likely observation within the data. But your mean just shifts from the center as you have some outlier. So that's the major difference between the two. Getting?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you can also plot this graph. So here I have taken some normally distributed data set. Size 50 means 50 normally distributed values. Then here I'm saying outlier. I have created some outlier data that is also normally distributed, but at 15. So 15 is nothing but in my x-axis I saw where the like where the data is plotted, and like I'm plotting at corner side, okay, by taking some higher values, and I'm plotting three data here. So size 3 means it will plot three data. Then I'm combining all those data by using np.concatenate. We have already seen concatenate earlier. This is not needed. X is 0. We have already seen concatenate earlier, right? So concatenate will just merge your data, right?
Yes, right. Right.
In this line, any doubt is there? Any doubt is there here?
No, no.
Okay, so we have taken some data normalized and some outlier. Then we are plotting density plot on top of that. Here I'm giving x limit. X limit is nothing but limit of x means like in our graph just to expand the x-axis. Otherwise, what happens is it will be very much squeezed. If you try, like you will see the graph will be very much squeezed. So I'm saying take -5 till 20. Okay, I'm saying, okay, give me from -5 till 20 in x-axis, so it will show you all the values properly, otherwise it will be squeezed. Then plt dot v lines. V lines is vertical line on mean median. Same thing we are plotting just to see how things are happening. So you can also do the same thing.
Swaroop, here's like when we are creating outliers, we are passing as a 15 and size is equal to 3. So what does it mean by?
So 15 means this is our x value. Okay, so here we are giving a x value, saying okay, on top of 15 create three values. So on top of 15 means here in x it will pick 15. Okay, and it is plotting three values. So here we have three values. Okay, like that. So here we are not giving any value. So by default it will start from 0. So it will start plotting the values from 0. Like 0, negative side some few values, positive side few values. But here we are saying 15 negative side on top of 15 we are saying here. Okay, so this is nothing but you can give like on top of like what is your x value that you can give on which it has to create the normalized data. Getting?
Yeah. And when we're concatenating the data,
Yes.
so there is a axis is equal to 0 we have given.
Yeah, it's not needed. Actually, by default, it will be axis 0 only. So when you concatenate, you can concatenate columns or you can concatenate rows. Here, all the datas are with respect to column format. So like one column, and we are like concatenating one more column. So here we are saying axis 0 means across column. Okay, it's not needed here because by default it will be column only. If you are adding like row specific, like you are adding a new column, that means you are adding multiple rows, then you can give axis 1. Here anyways data is in just one serialized format, so it's just a vector. We are adding one more vector, that's all. So there is no column thing here, but vectors itself are called as one column, so that's why we are saying axis 0.
But my graph is coming different, sir.
Okay, different means not like this.
The red line is coming very high.
Okay, very high. Okay, you can give the range. Just check the range based on that you give. I think some values might not be matching. You have given y max as 0.2 only
0.2 only.
for both
Wait,
0.
wait, wait.
And
If I change the y max value, let's say suppose I put 0.4,
yeah,
so then what will happen?
0.4 means it will be higher, right? Our range is 0.2, but you are giving 0.4, so your line will go up.
To up to 0.4.
Yes.
Okay. 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 Yeah, it's corrected now. Coming.
Okay, so you understood this one?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Kasif, you are also getting this one?
Yeah, I have got.
Okay. Okay, so we'll move ahead with the next one. Mode we have already found yesterday. So next is we'll see measure of dispersion. So here we'll see the measure of dispersion for MPG. That is we'll find out the a range between our values for miles per gallon. So we get a range of 23.5. So this is our first measure of dispersion. You can try this range, finding out the range of the values.
Range means max minus maximum minus minimum, right?
Yes.
Yeah, done.
Okay. Next is there is something called as five summary data. Okay, here in statistics we have something called as five summary data. Now, if you remember, we did a box plot earlier. We did a box plot, right?
Yes.
So that box plot usually gives us five summary, okay, of data. So that box plot itself is also called as five summary plot. So it gives you the minimum value, the maximum value, the middle value, and also it gives you a box. So now that box is nothing but it's the distance from 25th position value to 75th position value. So now what five summary data gives us is you can take all the quantile value. Quantile means at each of the percentage, like at each of the percent, like at the 0th percent, that is at the first position, and at the first position, what is the value? At the 100th position, that is 1.0 percentile, what is the value? At the 50th percentile, 50th percentile means center, that is the middle, what is the value you can get? At 25th percentile and at 75th percentile, that is 25th is between 0 to 50, center of 0 to 50, and 75th is center of 50 to 100. So now you can get all these values, like these are nothing but these are also called as quartile values. Like there are four quartile here, and each of the quartile points are called as quantiles. Okay, now quantiles are nothing but percentiles, like at what percent you want the value. Like at You want to know at 25th position what is the value, you can get it like through quantiles. So now here here I'm getting 5 quantile data, that is 5 summary data. So first one I'm getting the minimum value. So here I'm saying uh, so here I'm saying quantile of 0. So 0 means the first position. So that is the minimum value. Then here I'm saying the 25th position value. Then 50th position was the value. Then 75th. Then 100th position. So now here this 0 and 0 is minimum. 1 is 100 is maximum. 50 is the median. Median is midpoint. And the range from 75th to 25th is where you will get more cluster of data. Like this is the range where your data will be more clustered around. So now this range is also called as interquartile range. So interquartile range. So like within our quartile, what is the inter range? Like where you have more combination of data. Okay, so that box, like if you recall, we were getting a box in box plot. That box is nothing but it will give you the value from 25th to 75th percentile. So that will tell you okay where the data is properly grouped together. So that is called as IQR or interquartile range. Okay, so this is a very important part in like statistics to find out a lot of information about like about the data, how the data is spread, like what is the minimum value, maximum value, median value, and IQR. Okay, so you can try this. This is called as 5 summary data.
This is what called?
5 summary data. So there are 4 quarters here. Sometimes people might tell you, okay, find out the quarter data. Quarter data is nothing but 4 quarters will be there. That is 0 to 25th, 25th till position 25th is first quarter, 50th is second quarter, 75th is third, and 100th is fourth quarter. So like that, 4 quarters are there. So this is also that's why IQR is nothing but interquartile range. So this is also like calculation within the quarters, like how 25th distribution, how the values are.
I added one more 9.80 also. So
Yeah, you
so
can
that
get,
won't come in this.
yeah, you can give any point, but within 5 summary, usually we
Mhm.
take this. Suppose there is a task, somebody gives you a task saying, okay, find me out 2020 distribution, like at the 20th position, then 40th position. Then you can take this kind of this particular thing to find out those. It completely depends on the type of study you are doing. If somebody asks you, okay, we will break the data into 2020 like a distribution part, then 20 like 20 percentage parts, then you will do this. You will take different values like. But this is the base of getting the quad. So these are nothing but the quarters. And quantile can give you any percentile value. At any percentile, what's the value you can get through this quantile function in Python. It's done.
Hmm? Yeah,
Done.
done. Done, done.
Okay, next, see, this is a very famous calculation which is there in statistics, and usually for any data given to you, like any continuous variable you have within your data set, it's good to find out five number summary or 5 summary of the data. So for that, there is a method also which is a predefined method in Pandas data frame. So here I'm saying like that method is called as describe. So here I'm saying empty cars mpg.describe. So describe the miles per gallon here. So we want to suppose here I want to understand more with respect to miles per gallon. So this describe also gives you the 5 number summary. So here it says what is the minimum value, that is the 0th percentile, what is 25th percentile, what is 50th percentile, what is 75th, and what is max. Also it tells you what is the mean and what is the median. Okay, so you get this describe also those 5 summaries.
What is STD? Standard deviation.
Yes, standard deviation.
Okay.
Okay, done.
Yeah, done.
See here, like why do we find out all this like IQR and all? Why do we take this like 75th percentile, 25th percentile? So now this 25th to 75th is the range that is called as IQR, where like as I told you, we will find the cluster. Like we have a very good cluster will be there. The group together. Mostly data will be grouped from 25th to 75th. So now, if now the other part which we have to study within this kind of data is that is our from mean to 25th, what is the range, and from 75th to maximum, what is the range. Okay, that is also very important. Now, if you find like okay mean from range is very big, then there might be certain outliers within the data. Like in this case, if you see minimum to 25th, okay, the values are like 0th percentile is 10, 25th percentile is 15. So here the range between these values is 5. The range is nothing but 5. But if you see the 75 to max is almost double, like 22, and this is 33, like 10. So there might be one outlier. Okay, this maximum might be one outlier as the range is very high. Okay, within the cluster. So this is our cluster of data, group of data. But here you can see this range and this range you can compare. Okay, how far it is. Getting?
Yeah, yeah.
So now here to find out the IQR is nothing but interquartile range is another common measure of speed. So IQR is the distance between the third quartile and the first quartile. Third quartile is 75th percentile. First quartile is called as 25th percentile. So now to find the distance that is 75th to 25th is called as range. So here our IQR is 7.37. That is our IQR. But if you see 75th to max value is almost 10. So which is very high than our IQR as well as the minimum to 25th. So this 33 will be an outlier, might be an outlier. Okay. So now to look like if it is an outlier and all, we can plot it in box plot and we can figure out. Okay. First you do this.
Like IQR is the in that why we are taking that 0.75 and 0.25.
IQR is this range, okay, where yeah, like as I told you, right, 25th percentile is called as IQR. IQR is interquartile range, where you have a very good group of data, okay, like this is near to center. 25th and 75th are near to center, right? Center means 50th, okay,
Yes.
near to center value. So that's where this tells you where the data is properly grouped together. It defines the cluster properly, okay. So that's why we take this IQR.
Okay.
Okay, done this one.
Yeah, yeah, done.
Okay, next I'm plotting a box plot for the same. Now, as I told you, right, there might be an outlier. Why there is an outlier? Because our IQR range within the value is just 7.37. But if you see the range of minimum and 25th percentile, the range is 5. And if you see the range of 75th and maximum value, the range is 10, which is very high. It is also higher than IQR. So this 33 is nothing but an outlier within our data. Outlier means it's very far from the actual data set. Okay, like it's very far from the actual cluster, like actual group of data. So that's where like if you take the group of data is 25th to 75th is where we have a very good group or very good cluster, and there is a very big gap from 75th to 100 percentile. There is a big gap as compared to 25th to 0th percentile. So that's where like this is nothing but an outlier. This 33 is nothing but an outlier. Now to visualize that, we can plot this box plot. So here I am plotting a box plot on the current data, that is our mpg, miles per gallon. So here you can see like minimum value is somewhere here near to 10, maximum value is 33 somewhere here, and this maximum value is a circle here. So circle means it's an outlier, and it has taken this one as the maximum, and this one it has taken it to be outlier, which is very very far. So the next value to 33, whatever is the next minimum value, it has taken it as the maximum. And this third quartile to first quartile, that is nothing but 25th percentile to 75th percentile. This is what is called as IQR. Okay, where you have a group of data, cluster of data, and this center line is nothing but the median. Okay, so you are getting this.
Yeah.
Okay, so this plot is also called as 5 summary plot. So here I have also given labels to each of the place just by understanding okay where the labels should be. So it's like hard coded values I have given. There is plt.text. Plt.text is used to give used to assign text value. So here I'm saying when x is 0.74, y is 22, just put a label saying third style like that. Okay, so here I have given some labels. You can also try this box plot.
One line was there with value you were checking. After that, var is there, var.
Where? Which one?
Uh, this mpg dot values, then mpg dot var,
Okay, this one.
var. So I was checking with the var underscore count. So both the things were coming similar for var underscore count and var. So what's the what is the purpose of that count and var?
Where I'm using where.
Yeah, somewhere I have seen var was written dot var in yours. I think you were scrolling, so that I tested. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, okay, you can show me that one. I'll have a look. Okay, if you can share your screen now. Now you are getting.
Dot var also var. Somewhere you were scrolling, so I have seen and just tested. So then var underscore count also I have tested. Both the values were coming similar.
No. See, values means it will just be values. So you are saying this one, right? Dot values.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, this one you
This
are
one.
saying that.
Yes.
This is variance.
Okay, variance.
Okay, variance.
No, nothing. No, not that. Leave it.
That var is nothing but variance. Var underscore count should not be similar. It's like something else. Actually, it should get only var. I think it has not executed something. It might be giving.
Swaroop, why we are passing like values like x equal to manual values manually?
Manual values see actually here just to give some label at those specific position. So I saw that x is 0.27 like that. I have like this is all like I have tested myself and given the values. Okay, y is 22.5 just to tell okay that is third quartile so that I can get a text here at 22.5 when x is something. Okay, some text like that just to assign some text value. Okay, this is like some manual work is there in this one, that is matplotlib. Usually you don't do this. This is just to label saying okay this is what it is, this is what it is. Like that you have to hard code actually what is the x and what is the y. Okay, so I have tried with a different combination. Okay, what might be x, So here I'm writing, okay, x starts with 0.7. So I have given, okay, 0.74 is my x and y is 22.5. So 22.5 will be somewhere here. And there I'm writing this text saying third quartile.
Okay.
See, actually, Kasif, you are getting both value count whereas same because it just gives the column value. That's all. So that MPG column it has taken, it just shows you what is there in the column values, nothing else. So it's
It
not
mean it
very.
means it adds the value for the similar like labels.
Yeah. No, it just shows you that MPG column. That's all. Because if you give var in brackets, then only it will treat it as a variance calculation. Otherwise, there is no such function. So that's why it just shows you what are the values in MP. That's yeah, actually, there is nothing else.
Yeah, because I do some experiments by or doing that space and control to get the keywords and try.
See, okay, then it is just the variable. So if you don't give also, if you only write dataset.mpg, then also you should be getting similar thing. So this is value count and var count are like nothing but it's giving us giving you what are the values which are there in that column. That's all. It just shows you the row value. That's all.
What is the purpose of rotation here?
Uh, just to rotate our text. Here you can see I have rotated my text. This IQR. Okay, here I have rotated it to 90 degree. This IQR. Just for visualize. Just for little bit of styling I have done. If you don't do it will come in straight line. Otherwise it will rotate 90 degree.
Okay. Yeah, done.
Kasif, you have also done?
It's done.
Okay, next to find out the variance, we can find out by just writing .var for that particular thing. So it gives us the variance. Similarly, to find out standard deviation, it is .std. So these both are methods. So you have to pass it in brackets. Variance is 36 and standard deviation is nothing but root of that, square root of that. So here it is 6. You can find out variance.
The variance of what, like?
Variance of miles per gallon. So I want to see like how much values are deviated from the center. Okay, so that is what we are getting here. Like from the average, that is from the mean, how values are deviated. So here we are
Mm-hmm.
getting 6. So this is how the how values are deviated. This is the range of deviation, and the standard deviation is to quantify that. That is 6. That is square root of variance. So standard deviation is nothing but it will tell you the amount of variance which is there within your data.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the variance formula? What was the variance formula
For population or for sample?
for population?
For population, the formula is x minus x bar divided by uh, n minus 1.
No, no.
Oh,
For
sorry.
sample, it will be n minus 1. Okay,
Uh-huh.
for population, it will be summation of x
Summation.
minus x whole square.
Yes. Yeah,
Summation of
summation,
x,
summation.
yeah, summation of x minus x mean whole square divided by n. So whole
Yes.
square means that is also called a square deviation. We are squaring it up.
Yeah.
That's why we are finding out in standard deviation square root of the value. Okay. Next is see next one more thing is here variance whatever we are getting it is not that robust because we already saw that we have an outlier within our data, right? We had one outlier. So
Yes,
now
yes.
when you have outlier within your data, that means your mean gets shifted. So we saw that mean gets influenced by outliers. So mean gets shifted. So mean is not at all now mean is not there at the center. So now for that we have the median. So median is more robust. So for that there is one more measurement, like one more measure of dispersion, which also tells you how variable your data is. That measure is called as MAD. MAD means median absolute deviation. So there is one more measurement. It's also called as absolute median deviation or MAD. That is median absolute deviation. So why median absolute deviation we take? So median absolute deviation is nothing but how each value is different in median. So instead of checking how each of the value is different from the mean, that is average, we are taking how each of the value is different from the median. So this here we take the absolute values of our data. So here I'm saying absolute of mpg minus empty cars mpg dot median. So from median, this is absolute value of x minus x median. Then this whatever value you get in median, that has to be multiplied with 1.4826. So this is called a scaling factor. This is like compulsory scaling factor which is there in MAD. So once you multiply your value, whatever you get with this scaling factor, it will tell you how much your values are deviated from the center. So here we are getting 5.411. So this is how much the values are deviated from the center. Okay, so this also is a very good measurement of dispersion as compared to variance when you have outliers. Okay, so you can try this. It done.
Yes.
Yeah, done, done.
Okay, so next is finding out this skewness and all. So skewness, we already know that it tells you like if the data is skewed, we are like skewed is nothing but if there is any asymmetry within the distribution. So that asymmetry we can find out by skewness. To find out skewness of the data, you can find out by calling this method dot skew. So here I'm saying empty cars mpg dot skew. So it says it gives us a positive value. That means it is positively skewed. If the data will be negatively skewed, you will get a negative value. Now to check that same thing, here I'm plotting my mpg in density plot. Here I can see my data is skewed towards the right hand side. That is my tail is on the right hand side, moving towards the right hand side. So this is positively skewed data. Okay, this is how you can find out the skewness of the data. Okay, you can try this. So if your data is positively skewed, means more data will be concentrated on the left hand side as compared to the right hand side, and your mean will be shifted towards the right hand side. So that's what we can find out through skewed data. So here you can do like
Done.
okay then. And similarly, to find out the kurtosis, you can find out kurtosis empty cars mpg dot kurt. Kurt will give you the kurtosis of the value. So here we are getting minus 0.02. So here we are getting negative kurtosis. Also, we saw that we had an outlet, so we can say, okay, data is around the negative kurtosis. Here we had one outlet, and our data is actually dispersed here. Okay, so this is how you find out the kurtosis. Done?
Done.
Okay, so see, we'll keep it till this and we'll explore more like next class. But by then, you take this data set. We have this data set called as Titanic. So in the like data set folder also, I have shared that data set Titanic. You take that data set and try to do all these things, whatever we studied on this age factor. Okay, you can take any continuous data from Titanic. Continuous data will be actually age. There is something called as age in that. Okay, one more thing is actually Titanic data will have a lot of missing value. Okay, so for that it will not be easy. Okay, you take this data. What's that data? You can take this iris data. Okay, from Seaborn we had this iris data, right? We did that that day iris visualization. You take that data and try to study from that data. Okay, anything like any feature like sepal length, sepal width, petal width were there. You can take any of those and try to analyze and understand more and describe it by using these descriptive statistics, that is finding out the measure of center and measure of dispersion. Okay, try to do that by like Monday. We'll have a look into that.
Okay, sure, sure. We'll do that.
So we'll wind up here and
Okay.
we'll on Monday. So any questions, any doubts you have?
No, no, no doubts.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. We'll see you on Monday.
Okay, okay.